Hi everybody, welcome to week 5 of remote learning. How are you guys doing? I know it's been pretty grueling and tough for a lot of you. It's hard to learn through a computer screen, but hang in there, you're doing great. We're just about past the halfway point of this before the end of the semester. So hang in there, and we're gonna try to do some more with the sim this week. So remember, we used the sim and Amplify for a few other things. We're going to use a different simulation this time. We're going to use that one with the wee bugs and the furbills and green leaves. So stick with me in this video. I should be able to walk you through it, make it pretty simple, and give you lots of good pointers. Okay? All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is start off at the assignment one. All right, I think I got it here. So what you're looking at should be the assignment in Classroom. And first thing you're gonna do is watch this video. We're doing that, great. There's this instructions document and then the response questions. So you're gonna watch this, you're gonna read the instructions. You might wanna either print them out or have them open in a window right next to the sim or toggle between the two. That might be helpful. And then after you do the sim, you're going to go back to this assignment and answer these response questions. So I'm going to go to the instructions. Here, this is what they look like. So be sure to watch the instructional video first. If you made it this far, we know you got it. I'm going to walk through this portion here with you. We'll do that together. And then this is going to be the part where it says you must do this part. That's what you're responsible for. So let's get going. It says here, organisms get energy storage molecules to reproduce from the resource populations that they eat, right? We talked about resource populations are the populations that are being eaten by the consumer populations or consumed by those populations, right? Today we're going to investigate the wee bug population in the sim. They're the little inchworm looking ones. First you need to figure out where wee bugs get the energy storage molecules they need to reproduce. So we're going to launch that simulation. We're going to make sure to use the 3 population mode. There's a couple of different modes in there. That's the one we're looking for. And we're going to observe some wee bugs. We're going to check out the food web overlay. And then these discussion questions I'll just talk about with you because it's hard to do with a partner in these circumstances. So little refresher on Amplify. Make sure to go to Clever, which is in the upper left-hand corner of your screen for most of you, if I remember correctly. Go to Clever, log in, scroll down to the Amplify app. Once you click that, you're going to log in with Google and then get to the 7th grade Populations and Resources unit, chapter 2, and then we're going to go to lesson 2.3. And those instructions are also right here in that checklist. Every week I've been putting out a checklist. It has instructions to get there right there. Okay, so you've made it this far, lesson 2.3. Feel free to pause at any point in this video and kind of catch up. That would be a great way to make sure that you're following along and understanding. So pause me. Just kidding, not pause. Okay, so lesson 2.3. And then you're going to go to the second tab here where it says changing the number of births in the sim. And we're going to launch the populations and resources simulation. I'm not using an iPad. And I think most of you remember this can take a little while to load, so be patient. It does use up a lot of internet energy or whatever it is, so it takes a little bit. Still waiting. Okay, so once you have logged into the sim, these are your options. The instructions had said 3 populations. So that's what we're going to do. And you can see it's pretty busy in here. I'm going to pause it for the moment to show you around a little bit. So if you don't remember, let's zoom in. These are the wee bugs, and you can click on them, right? And it shows you their energy storage molecules, so the ESMs. If you can't see that when you've clicked on it, make sure that this is toggled over to show ESMs, energy storage molecules, for each one. So then you can see, and you can see that this little bar will go down as the organism is using up energy. Right now it says it's in a status of decreasing energy, right? It has 15, and we're going to see this go down. So if I unpause it and follow it around, he's moving around, so his energy storage molecules are going down. He's reproducing. That took energy. Still going down, and it's going to keep going down until he finds something to eat. Oh, died of old age. That was a bad one to pick. Anyway, you get the point there with that. Another feature here is this food web overlay. This is showing you the food web for this environment, and we talked a little bit about food webs earlier in the unit. The arrow is the direction of energy flow, right? So the wee bugs get their energy from green leaves. So the energy is going from green leaves to wee bugs. And the furbills get their energy from the wee bugs. So the energy arrow is going this way. So when we're asking you to draw food webs, the arrow always indicates where that energy is going. Yes? Okay. So another feature here, this is where you start and stop the simulation, and you can watch the food web over time and see how the energy is changing, right? The energy levels are changing. The other thing you can do is slow down or speed up the sim. So sometimes in the instructions it'll say do 20 time units. This is where the time units are. We're already at 52, and it goes pretty fast, and it's hard to follow these little critters. So I want to slow it down a little bit so we can see them moving at a more reasonable pace. Okay. The other thing I want to show you is the Analyze button. So when we analyze it, it brings us to this line graph showing, on this axis it shows the population. So however far it goes up and down is the number of organisms of that population. So if we follow one along, these are the green leaves. Their population kind of takes a little dip, and then it goes up and down, and then another dip. And then we can see the wee bugs kind of follows that. The green leaves had a dip here, and then the wee bugs had a dip. And then it kind of comes back up and kind of comes back up, and then there's a dip here and a dip here. And then they go far apart, so we'd have to figure out what happened there, right? So you can follow the numbers in the population over time. The time is down here. And then this blue section highlighted here, all of that information in the blue section is given in this table. It's a lot more information. You can see the number of deaths and births. And so we've been talking a lot about what makes a population stable or not. So you can see there's 74 deaths and 72 births. That's pretty close. So that line at the end there is probably going to be pretty flat. The wee bug is exactly flat, so that it would be a stable population just in this time frame, right? And then the furbills have 10 deaths and 4 births. So you can see it's starting to dip down there, which would show a decline, right? If we have more deaths than births, we're going to show a decline. And that shows here. So here we have the energy storage molecules. They changed. Their energy storage molecules went down by 126. The wee bugs went up by 116. So we can look at different things here. The wee bug population isn't changing at all. We know that births and deaths are the same. The population here is going down slightly, 2 more deaths than births. And then the furbil population is going down a lot, 6 more deaths than births. So when it asks you to review the information, that's where you're looking. So I'm going to go back to the instructions and make sure that we're doing these things. So we're observing WeBugs. Make sure to look at the food web overlay. We checked that out. And then discuss the following questions with your partner. How are energy storage molecules represented in different parts of the sim? So if we go back to the sim, we're looking at energy storage molecules. We found them here. We found that you can turn them off and on here when the sim is going, and we turn off the food web overlay. We can see that they have their little bar graphs following them around. And if we click on them, we're able to see the exact number, right? I have my instructions printed out here. What else does it say? Where are energy storage molecules found in the ecosystem? That's a great question. So where is the energy storage molecules starting off from, right? So if we look at our food web, the energy storage molecules, at what point do they start and then travel from? They're starting here, right? Because we can see the energy storage molecules go from the green leaves to the WeBugs and then to the Furbles. So they start here with the green leaves. And where do WeBugs get energy storage molecules in the sim ecosystem? What is your evidence? So if we're watching, let's find a WeBug to follow. Reproduction uses a lot of energy. We can see their energy storage molecules going down. And we're looking for when will this WeBug's storage molecules go back up? I'm gonna guess when it finds food. And as you guys know with these sims, sometimes we just pick organisms that aren't doing anything in particular, just wandering around. Oh, he's getting eaten. See, I picked the wrong one. So you would have to find out where these WeBugs are getting their energy storage molecules from. My guess is when they're eating green leaves. It's gonna go back up. Okay, so let's go back to these instructions. We've talked about these things. You are going to investigate what can change what change to the greenleaf population could increase the number of births in the WeBug population. So choose one, either increase the green leaves or decrease the green leaves. And you're trying to get an increase in the number of WeBugs. So think about that. If we want the WeBugs to go up, what are we going to do to their food source, right? And so when you're designing an investigation, these are the things that you're going to talk about or think about. What will change? What are you going to change? We're going to change the number of green leaves. What's going to stay the same? The number of Furbles, probably. We're not doing anything with those. And what will be observed and recorded? We're trying to figure out an increase in WeBugs, right? So these are those instructions to follow here. You're going to run the sim for at least 20 more time units. And then let me show you how you can make changes to the population. So you can change the number of green leaves. Did you see that? Let me go back real quick. On this edge right here is an arrow, and this is where you make changes to the number of organisms in your environment. And you have to unlock it or lock it. I locked it. So you want to add or take away green leaves to see how that affects the WeBug population. And then once you have it, and it says to make a big change. Once you've made your big change, lock it, and then you're going to watch for 20 time units. And if you need to restart, you're going to use this and that'll restart the time right there. And then you're going to go to analyze and see what happened after the change. So make sure to run your simulation for 20 time units, make your change, and then run it for another 20 so that when you analyze, you can see a change in your graph and know clearly where you made that change and see what happened. Okay? And then you're going to go, after you've done all of that, you're going to go to the response questions, which look like this, and you're going to fill these in. Okay? So Make sure to answer all these questions as detailed as you can. All right, so just make sure to follow the instructions very carefully, read them, carry them out, and then answer those questions in the response questions doc. Okay, you're just going to type directly in there and submit that in Classroom. Okay, hopefully you guys don't have too many questions, but if you do, no worries, just send me a comment through Classroom or in an email. I know some of this stuff can be pretty tricky sometimes, or it can be frustrating, so I'm here to help. Send me emails, ask me to Zoom, let's share screens. But I really think you guys can carry this out, and I think it's a interesting enough thing with the simulation that we can get it done. Take care, everybody. I miss seeing you in class. I hope you're doing well. The weather is warming up. Get outside, wear sunscreen, don't get heat stroke. But yeah, all right. Miss you. Bye.